Hello everyone, how are we all doing? My name is Trevon from freestudiotime.com, and today we're going to be going over a very important topic that is not talked about enough within our industry, which is losing hearing. So let's get straight into it. The reason why I wanted to go over this topic a little bit is because I've actually suffered a little bit of hearing damage in the past few weeks working on some of my songs for my upcoming album. So I figured I'd put together 5 tips to help you all prevent losing hearing when mixing and mastering throughout your audio engineering journey. Now keep in mind, before I start these, your situation may be a little bit better or worse depending on your exposure to loud sounds throughout your entire life. For me, as a kid, I used to listen to music a lot, and I used to listen to it very loudly, so my situation was a bit different. Honestly, me being in this industry probably wasn't the best idea for my ears. So first off, one of the easiest ways to ensure that you're not going to experience too much deafness within your audio engineering journey or your music production journey is just turning down the monitor volume on your audio interface. I'm not even gonna lie, I normally always had that turned up to about at least 50%, like literally at least, and majority of the time it was probably up to like 75 or like 80%. Keeping that turned down majority of the time will save you a lot of trouble. Now I think I have it at like 15%, so 15% compared to like 80% is obviously a huge gap. This is also really important because you may be in the studio for a prolonged amount of time and you're going to be constantly exposed to these really loud noises, which is why it's best to go ahead and get it taken care of from the jump with just turning down the volume on your audio interface. Second thing to do is adjust your digital audio workstation whenever you use EQ. The reason why I'm putting so much emphasis on EQ is because we have to listen to really harsh frequencies to detect the ones that we need to get rid of, but in the midst of us doing this, we're damaging our ears by constantly exposing ourselves to all these different types of crazy sounds. And if you start to compound that over time, over a few years, things can start to look really bad for you. A way to combat this is whenever you get to EQ and you get to soloing out those frequencies and boosting them up to see which ones need to be cut or boosted, turn the volume on your audio interface down a little bit more, and if you're not on an audio interface, turn the volume down on your laptop or computer down a little bit more. So if you were at 15% before, go down to like 8% to really avoid the possibility of those harsh frequencies messing up your ears. And the reason why on EQ you're able to turn the volume down almost as low as possible is because as soon as you boost those frequencies, there's absolutely no way you're not going to be able to hear what's going on. It doesn't matter how loud you turn it down. A harsh frequency will be a harsh frequency, and you're going to be able to hear it regardless of what level it's at. Third thing, you have to change your lifestyle. Now, I know a lot of people my age and in my friend group listen to music really loud at a certain point, and it kind of just became a habit for us. And what you don't realize is after years and years of doing this, you're slowly tearing down your hearing more and more. And it's especially bad if you listen to music all the time, nonstop. And it's even worse if you're in an industry like how we are, where all we deal with is music. So those are 3 odds stacked against your ears. If your career or like a big hobby of yours is going to be audio engineering, you just need to be very cautious of like the sounds that you're exposing yourself to outside of this, because it can and will affect the way you perceive or really enjoy audio engineering or just music altogether later on down the line. Now, another really important aspect to this equation would definitely be de-esser, and the only reason why I say de-esser is because it's kind of similar to like the reason for EQ. It's because those sibilance frequencies, those S frequencies are pretty high pitched, and those high-pitched frequencies are what's really going to hurt your ears, especially when it comes to soloing out the sibilance inside the de-esser and just listening to those S's. It can be really tempting to just turn up the volume a little bit to actually hear how you're compressing those S's, but you do not need to do that. As long as you're pulling down that threshold the way you're supposed to, and you've consolidated the sibilance inside of your voice correctly, or whatever artist voice you're working on, you'll be totally fine. Now, the 5th, last, and final tip that I wanted to go over with you all, probably the easiest one as well, is to just honestly avoid loud sounds when you don't have to. If you do have to, always make sure that you're wearing some type of protective hearing equipment. This will ensure that the possibility of hearing loss is dramatically reduced, especially when you start to consider the compounding effects that this can have if you do it over a few years, periods of time. But all right, everyone, those are my 5 tips on keeping your hearing. I just wanted to go over this because it's not talked about enough, and a lot of people actually go through the same thing when dealing with audio engineering. And it's so important because once you lose your hearing, you'll never be able to get it back. So it's just best to preserve what you have now and prevent it from happening to you in the future. But all right, everyone, I hope you got a lot of value out of this video. If you did, make sure to hit like and subscribe. Also, if you're a beginner looking to get your vocals mixed with stock VSTs inside FL Studio, make sure to hit the link in my description so I can give you a detailed step-by-step guide on how to do just that, which I can guarantee will 5 times the speed in which you progress. I'll catch you all in the next video, everyone.